Well, thank you so much for being here today. I think, I know most of you, but I'm Wade Lee from upstairs in the development office, and today the goal is really just to inform you about how you can make money for the station and or for yourself funding your work. And that's what we are community supported, and so we look for opportunities to go further beyond just the normal number. We want to look at foundations and government entities and institutions and things like that. And that's through grant making. And so, as you all know, you work for the University of Texas, and we are wrapped with bureaucracy. And so there are some rules, of course. And so what I want to do today is really go over the three types of grants that we deal with at KUT. And the first is development-based, and so those are grants that will be housed in the development office upstairs. We will help you manage those. Typically, they are grants that we seek. We go out and look for them. They're from family foundations, individuals, regular foundations, and typically they have minimal reporting, just general or less specific deliverables. It's mostly just a gift, you know. We know that you can do good work, here's the money, and go do it. Then there are grants through the Office of Sponsored Projects, and those are a little more tricky. Think of things that might come from a government agency or an institute, or some foundations might require this. These are usually grants where the grantor has sought us out, and so they've requested a proposal. And so these, the university wants to ensure that we're fulfilling all of our obligations when we apply for a grant like that. And so we run these through what's called the Office of Sponsored Projects, and they really help manage it. They will set up the accounts, they will provide reporting tools, and they will provide tools for helping you budget. And so one of the things that's really key about Office of Sponsored Project grants is the budget and specific deliverables. We will always be reporting on Office of Sponsored Project grants, and we will have to return the money if we don't spend it all. So that's really, really key. You want to make sure you're keeping up with your budget. And finally, direct-to-grantee grants. These are grants that are fellowships from scholarly organizations, nonprofits, something that you find, and it's not going to involve KUT. The money's not going to come to KUT, it's going to go to you directly. One thing about those you want to be careful with is that there could be tax implications, because it is income to you, and you want to make sure that you prepare yourself for any implications. Another thing is that these require approval of the general manager, because we have to make sure that you can supplement your work, the deliverables that the organization requires, that we're going to maybe air those stories or put them on the web, things like that. We just have to make sure that all gets done. So a few quick steps. I want to run through some steps and then what to do if you get one, and then hopefully open up for questions and some examples of success and failure. So first, if you find a grant, discuss it with your supervisor. Is it something that fits into your work? If you are the transportation reporter and it's a grant on arts, not for you. So don't, it's a waste of time. Discuss with your supervisor. The next thing is notify the development office. That means notify me, because what I need to do is run some traps with the university and find out if it needs to go through the development office, go through the Office of Special or Sponsored Projects, or if it's a direct-to-grantee, an award. Sometimes at the university, especially with Office of Sponsored Project grants, could be a competition, because some institutions or organizations only allow one application per institution. And we are not KUT, we're the University of Texas at Austin. And so there could be other departments that have already said that they are applying. So we want to make sure we don't step on any toes. And I have a great example of that for later. So I'll check that out for you, usually within the hour, and get back to you. So the third step is to wait for approval from the development office. I'm going to run the traps, check with the general manager, and see if we're good to go. If approved, then what we want to do is probably set up a meeting you know, with me and maybe your supervisor, to go over how we're going to proceed. And then happy applying, you know, is what you do. The development office at KUT, me and my colleagues will help you write your grant. We will provide cover letters from the general manager. We will steward the budget process. We want to make this as easy as possible so you're as successful as possible. And then finally, you wait for the award or you wait for the rejection. You know, hopefully you get the award. And that brings up the final point, is if you are awarded, tell us immediately. Sometimes we won't know. If it's Office of Sponsored Projects, we will, but if you get an award, we need to know of any of the types, even if the ones that's going direct to you, and then we'll want to meet again, because we want to go over reporting, we want to go over deliverables, we want to make sure that the budget is set and we can move forward and be successful. So the main takeaway here is that in all of this, applying for grants is to communicate with the development office so we know what's going on.
You said you're going to help people write the grants. Have you thought about that time commitment and how quickly you can turn those around?
That's it's a very good question, because there is a lot of lead time for grants, and so if you find a grant application and it's due tomorrow, we're probably not going to be able to apply for that one. You know, so but it's part of my job, so it's built in, you know, that I can help you, and I have boilerplate language that is easy to use and for you to just fill in the blanks.
Thank you.
Wait, fantastic.